Here are 5 tips to get better at COD Mobile BR. The first tip is to use classes that are in the meta. COD Mobile BR has a focus on classes similar to Apex Legends. These classes have various abilities which help you in combat. There are currently 19 classes in the game, and though you might think all the classes offer the same level of value, unfortunately it isn't the case. If you use classes like Desperado or Spotter, you are at a huge disadvantage versus others who are using classes like Pumped, Ninja, Poltergeist to name a few. How to know which classes are the best? Well, don't worry, I have a video on the top 5 best classes which I will share at the end screen. Using the best classes gives you the best chances to win gunfights more often. Like here, I defeated an entire squad because I had Pumped, which allowed me to take high ground, which is a big advantage in BR games. Now if I had, let's say, Clown class, then I didn't stand a chance against them. Now let's move on to tip number 2, which is stop taking unnecessary fights. A lot of the times we tend to take fights where we know we are at a disadvantage. Knowing when to back off from a fight and knowing which fights not to participate in makes you a much better player. Don't take every single fight you can. Take every fight you can win. Be patient and wait for the right moment instead of rushing. For example, in this duos versus squads, I see a lot of enemies and my teammate decides to jump, which was a bad decision. And even though he managed to take down an enemy, he got killed. I took down one, and since I know the chances aren't in my favor, I repositioned. Though I failed to pick up the dog tag, but we managed to get better position, thus more points at the end. Tip number 3 is really important when facing multiple enemies at once, and it is to separate and kill. You stand no chance if multiple enemies shoot you unless they're bots. Players tend to rush in order to get the kill, and it's that greediness you need to take advantage of. Separating and killing them individually increases your chances significantly. In order to separate them and make them chase you, you can reposition or fall back a bit. But good squads don't fall for this trick, so in those situations you need to apply tip number 2 and fall back yourself. In this scenario, there were 3 enemies and I took one of them. It was an open area, so I only had one option, and that was to reposition and take them down one by one. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to take high ground, and since I had close to mid-range weapons, I had to take close range fights. If I had my custom loadout, that guy would have been dead, but without it, I absolutely choked. But now they know my exact location and started to come after me. I waited for the perfect moment to jump on them, and by this time, they revived their teammate, but it didn't do much.
Changing mag. Cover me. Changing mag.
Tip number 4 is to use meta weapons. This might seem kinda obvious to you guys, but I have seen so many players lose fights just because they use weapons that are weak compared to the best guns in the game. A player who is using Krieg or AK-47 has a huge advantage over someone using BK-57. In CODM, the meta is dynamic and keeps changing frequently, which is great as we get to use different weapons and not be bored using the same stuff again and again. I make top 5 classes and weapons videos whenever the meta changes, so you can subscribe to stay updated. This brings us to tip number 5, which is, as Ted Lasso said, believe. The more you play, the better you get. Believe that you can do it. We all have bad days where we lose a few matches in a row, but it's important to have a positive attitude. Take a break and come back later. It's important not to tilt and lose even more. Even I lose matches making stupid mistakes, but you just don't see that as I don't upload those games. In the next tips video, I will cover advanced stuff like movement and much more. I will make that video only if this video gets 500 likes. To check out the top 5 best guns of this season, click here, or to check out the top 5 best classes, click here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.